Hi, I'm Lewis Wire with Carmel Builders, and I'm on site today at a whole house remodel that we're doing. And the reason I'm here is to talk about a subject that came up. A couple months ago, we got an email, someone asking about load-bearing walls. We did a short Sidelight series where I talked about the fact that people don't need to worry about it. But I think this is really fun because you can kind of see in the real world what it actually means to have a load-bearing wall. So before we started this project, this wall here was completely full. There was a full wall here. It actually came out. You can actually see the edge of it right here where my foot is, and then came to the stair, the base of the stairs. Closed this off, very dark, very narrow. The base of the stairs here, there actually was a door here, so this stairwell wasn't open. And then behind me, where what will now eventually become kitchen and dining area for this home, was also completely closed up. So very cramped, very crowded. Where I'm standing here felt incredibly tight and incredibly crowded. Our clients want to open this up. They want to see this space become something that's open and accessible. They are going to be putting in the primary suite upstairs, so we want to have a nice open, accessible kind of loft area at the top of the stairs. They want to be able to sit in the living room and be able to connect with the kitchen. Not necessarily a true open concept, but a connectivity that I think is really important in the way that we live today. So how did we accomplish this? Well, we got rid of these load-bearing walls and we put in a header. So what do we mean by load-bearing wall? Well, first of all, what we mean by load-bearing wall is basically that something is sitting on that wall. In the case here, these floor joists, where my hand is here, used to sit on top of a wall that was, again, this wall right here. You can imagine, it just extended all the way across. These floor joists sat on top of it, as did these ones, and did the floor joists in the dining area behind me. So what did we do? We cut out that wall and we installed this header. So people talk about a header. What is it? It almost always is going to look like this in a residential home. This is an LVL header. LVL stands for laminated veneered lumber. It's an engineered product, incredibly strong, designed to do exactly what it's doing here right now. It holds the weight of something else. So what we did, cut out the wall, cut back all these floor joists, and now are hanging them onto this header. So these hangers here, these metal brackets that you see, these are engineered to hold the weight of this onto our LVL header. Because we did this by hanging them on here, what we've got now, we call this a flush header, because this ceiling height is now going to come straight across all the way across. So this is going to be a really cool, really dramatic look, and exactly what our homeowners wanted to have. So how do we put this in? Well, like you see here, the big issue that we also have to think about is then where does the weight that is sitting on this header go? You no longer have a wall that distributes the weight across it. It needs to come down. It comes down on the end. So we have the end of it here onto this spot here, and our other end comes down onto this doubled up 2x4 here. We call these point loads because that load across the top comes across and then comes down here. So these need to bear onto something into the basement. Generally speaking, we love to let them sit like on the main steel I-beam in your basement. That's what these two do, but that's not always possible. In this house, there's an I-beam running right under here, but there isn't one here. So we had to do some other framing in the basement here to take this point load and this one over here, and we had to create some framing solutions downstairs. And I'm not going to go into that in this video, but there's always a way to do it. And what I want to let people know is that it's not as complicated and as hard as you think, and it's not this crazy expense that you think. All this work that you see here of cutting out the floor joist, installing the headers, putting on the hangers, took one of our framing contractors, one guy, just a bit over a day to do, maybe about 10 hours of work. Not so cost prohibitive that you can't do it. Now, every home is different. There might be some reasons why in your home it's going to be more challenging, but it's not this big scary thing that people oftentimes think it is. And look at this. This is going to be great. You're going to have this fantastic kitchen behind here. You're going to have this ceiling, that line that just comes all the way across. The whole house is going to get tied together. Homeowners are going to love it. It's going to really do what it needs to do, and it isn't that hard. So don't be afraid of load-bearing walls. Now you kind of know what headers are. People talk about it. Someone says we're going to put an LVL in there. That's what it is, laminated veneered lumber. And really, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. We'll be checking back in on this project, so please make sure to follow us to find out kind of how it all turns out. Have a great day.